You know she's getting filled by some black stud. You know there's some black fucking bull that's just filling her with cock meat, giving her the real fuck she deserves. Some big black bull just filling her with cock meat.
All right, folks, how we all doing tonight? How are we all doing? See some people in the chat. Some people are saying I'm streaming more. Oh, well, you know, I'm off. I got all this time. I'm not going back to work till the 2nd. And a lot of that's not paid. It's a shutdown. Shutdown at the old box factory. So I got to try and stream. I got to try and shuck and jive on the internet. I'm trying to get some shekels. Trying to do some e-begging here. entertain you fine folks, and hopefully you throw some shekels my way via the PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon wish list. And what else? What else did I want to talk about tonight? You know what occurs to me? You know, I often talk, because it's an interesting thing to think about. You know, what if you won the lottery? You know, I don't even play that often. You know, I spend, maybe 10 to 20 bucks on lottery tickets in a year, if that. Probably not even that. But I was thinking today, because I've had this whole week off. I've been off since Thursday night was the last time I worked. We did 10 hours last week because the place was closed Friday. And there's the Christmas stuff. Obviously, I've had stuff to do, but it's like tonight I was kind of, for about like a minute as I was coming home, I couldn't remember what day of the week it was, and I had to think. Okay, Christmas was on. Okay, it's Friday. I had to think for a minute, and I like that. I think if you won the lottery and you don't have to work and all that stuff, and you're not bound by a schedule, oh, the glorious freedom of it, and it's nice at first. But a couple of years ago, I got laid off from a job I was at for 5 years, and I was on unemployment, and I decided to finally collect unemployment, and was on it for a couple of months, and it was on one level, like, you can't really do a ton of fun stuff because unemployment's not as much as your regular paycheck, so you're trying to watch your money, but also it's like, it's just sort of this floating in the ether feeling that kind of gets old after a while. Like, every day's the same. It was, thank God for the regular Saturday show. Thank God for even something as small as on Wednesday I go get my comics. Thank God for little stuff like that to give the week a little bit of meaning there. Or not meaning, what should I say? Structure. That's the word I'm looking for. If you won the lottery and you didn't have to work anymore, what would you do? Well, yeah, there'd be a lot of fun stuff you'd be doing with yourself, but after a while, you'd kind of be like, you'd want that structure back. You'd want that kind of, I don't know how to put it, but it just structure is no better way I can put it. The only thing worse than having to be somewhere is having nowhere to be. The only thing worse than having a job is not having a job. But anyways, so earlier today, I've been doing a lot of Christmas stuff. Christmas stuff out the ass this week. It's chewed up most of the week because it wasn't just Christmas with me. I did Christmas stuff Christmas Eve. I did Christmas stuff today, seeing family and stuff. I did Christmas stuff, when did I think Monday or whatever. All week been chewed up with stuff like this. Oh, we got the Chad Coomer up on screen. I love that meme. Somebody says, work makes you free. They got signs all over German and Poland that say so. Yes, indeed. Work makes you free. But no, honestly, if I won the lottery, I would make this a more professional and regular show, like at a certain time on certain days kind of thing, and we go live at that. We're not going to be late. We're not going to dick around. Something that is on the same level of professionalism as, let's say, Revenge of the Sis. Those guys got a good thing going on. I would, even if I had to pay a producer to be in here, and I'd probably need another regular co-host, maybe somebody in studio. But, just something like that. Just something to do, or, whatever. Invest in something, just so you're not just kind of bombing around. If I win a Powerball, I'd travel for a couple months, but that would get old probably a lot sooner than you'd think. Somebody says, how old are you, Bechtloff? I am 36. I know, so old. Somebody says, I find after 3 days off, I start to get anxious and need to do something. Only so much video a guy can do. Yeah, that's about where I am. It sort of gets to be like, well, what are you doing? I worked a 10-hour job years ago, and even the 3-day weekends sometimes felt to be a bit much. I actually liked I like jobs where I was able to split my days off into chunks. I did another 10-hour day job once where each person got a different day off, and I had the weekend plus Wednesday was nice. I asked for Wednesday. A lot of people wanted Monday or Friday or something. I was like, no, give me Wednesday. Right in the middle. That's nice. Plus, at the time, well, I mean, still, Wednesday is New Comic Day, but at the time, I was dating a girl and she had off Wednesdays, and, that was just our day. I'd go, my routine on that day is I'd go to the comic book store, go to my girls, and while she was getting ready for whatever it is we were going to be doing that afternoon, because, you know how ladies are, take a while to get ready, I'd sit there and read my comics. The other thing I was thinking of today, I watched, I hadn't seen it yet. I hadn't gotten around to seeing it yet. Porcelain did a documentary over a year ago on Jim Norton. And really good stuff. Porcelain's documentaries were pretty good stuff. It's a shame he got chased off the internet. He got chased off the internet by Owen Benjamin, by the way. Another reason to hate Owen Benjamin. Porcelain was looking into Owen Benjamin, and Owen Benjamin, threatened to dox him and outright threatened him with violence and stuff like that. It's part of the reason I did not shed a tear when Owen Benjamin was deplatformed. But yeah, he chased Porcelain off. But before that, Porcelain was doing a lot of documentaries on minor celebrities, these celebrities, that sort of thing. He did one on Gavin McInnes. That was really good. He did a couple on old Owen Benjamin. And I mean, these are hour-long videos that, document the entire saga of these guys. And he did one on Sargon. It's actually, that might have been when I first kind of discovered Porcelain, because when he did one on Sargon, there was like a throwaway line about Davis Arini in there, and Arini freaked out and had a big old kerfuffle that didn't go well for him. But anyways, he did one on Jim Norton, and I was somewhat familiar with Jim Norton. I used to watch a lot of comedy stuff in the early 2000s. I used to watch Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn back in the day. That was great stuff. I listened to a little bit of Opie and Anthony. Not a ton. I just never... They weren't available in my radio market. So it really wasn't till, It wasn't till a few years into all that mess, not even YouTube. I remember listening to them online a little bit, even pre-YouTube, but I'd listen to bits and pieces. But I never listened to a ton of Opie and Anthony back in the day because, again, they just weren't on my radio. But he, anyways, Jim Norton, and I like Jim Norton, but Jim Norton was the kind of comedian. Oh, a super chat. Thank you very much. I'll get to that in a second. Jim Norton was the kind of comedian. It was just the right amount of edgy where it's like, I couldn't even watch him with my dad. Even my boomer dad couldn't get down with it because Jim Norton did a lot of gay stuff. Yes, indeed a lot of gay stuff, but a lot of jokes about his unique sexuality, and my boomer ass dad can't hang with that. Anytime somebody starts talking about shit like that, he's just smart. This is just disgusting. Turn it off. Anyways, Dave Rambo sends a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Says, buy some Powerball tickets, and thanks for the stream. So, well, I just might do that. Who knows? And if I do that, let me put it this way: if I win the Powerball, you're not going to see me for about 3 to 6 months. But after that, I'll probably come back with a vengeance. Come back with some actual professionalism, perhaps. Anyways, Norton's comedy was pretty good, but Norton was a very troubled man. And, this documentary got into it a lot. And, kind of a scumbag. But the thing is, comedians usually are. There's a line, I think I heard it on Revenge of the Sith, but I think they might have been quoting Opie Anthony, to be honest. But I just remember it was like, you can't be the cool guy and the funny guy. And you also really can't be, how should I put this, the self-righteous guy and the funny guy. The biggest thing that's killing comedy these days is this woke comedy shit. The reason for the longest time nobody on the right could seem to be funny, the reason you never see any great Christian comedians, that sort of thing, with very rare exceptions, is comedy comes from often a very dark place. And it comes from pain in many regards. And that same pain often bears fruit of substance abuse and all sorts of other deviancy and decadence and what have you. Interestingly enough, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff in Hollywood will show you that, like, the horror guys are actually the sweethearts. Like, in Hollywood, it was always the horror guys that were, the big horror actors were just the sweetest, kindest people you could hope to meet. Robert Englund is, by all accounts, one of the nicest people to ever work in show business. Vincent Price used to actually teach Sunday school. I remember a story behind the scenes on one of the Jason movies, and there were several actors that played Jason. But the one was such a big, gentle giant that the director insisted he never interact with the other cast members, outside of shooting, because he was afraid that once they saw what a big teddy bear he was, they wouldn't be able to get the proper fear response on camera. But the comedians are assholes. The funny guys are assholes and dirtbags and what have you. So you never got many funny Christian comedians, because I'm not going to say that Christians can't be assholes. Certainly we can. Sometimes the most religious people are the most soulless. But there's always an air of, let me put it this way, the Christians that are assholes, there's this air of seriousness and dignified, piousness about them, which is always bullshit, by the way. But that's what they are. So, you don't get a lot of funny religious folks. And you don't, the religion of leftism, I guess. You don't get a lot of these woke leftists that are funny. They're never funny. Good comedy comes from a place of pain and brokenness, and it also comes from a place of honest observation untethered by agenda. As able as a human being is to do that. That's where a place of real comedy comes from, generally. So, you think, we've gotten in our head that now we're looking to comedians as some sort of moral authority. And I blame the, back in the Bush years when you had the Jon Stewarts of the world, and everybody just decided that they were everybody on the left at least decided they were this, leader, sometimes to the vocal objection of these comedians. You saw like bumper stickers back in the day, Stuart Colbert 2004, something like that. And, you know, it's an ironic fucking joke, but there were people that took that seriously, like, oh, they should run. There were leftists saying that Jon Stewart should run. He's a fucking comedian. You know, like... It's, you know, comedians are kind of assholes. They're not supposed to be leaders. You're not supposed to look to them as leaders. They don't lead a move. Like, don't... Look, I mean, I guess to a certain extent I'm a comedian. I'm a very amateur comedian. But, you know, I've been known to make people laugh, and I'm an asshole. Don't look to me as some sort of leader of a movement. I'm not interested in leading the movement, whatever the hell your movement is. You know, I'm not interested in leading it, and I'm not interested in probably even participating in it. I'm probably not even in it. No, I'm definitely not even in it. Even if I'm generally sympathetic to it, I'm not in it. All right, I'm just here to make some fucking jokes, make some people laugh. It's funny though, the Norton documentary. They showed how it's kind of similar to Spoonie. Jim Norton ended up crowdfund. One of the things that really brought him down, one of the things that really soured him towards a lot of fans, is you know, he crowdfunded animating this Chip Chipperson character he did, and he had no idea what he was doing. You know, he pissed away half that money, probably on his one fucking tranny cam girl in quotation marks, that he was whoring around with. And it's very similar to how Spoonie got in over his head. You know, the final nail in the coffin for Spoonie was when he raised enough money on Patreon that he was supposed to begin working on the Spoonie movie. Well, he had no idea what the fuck he was going to do. You know, he had no idea. He had no idea what a Spoonie movie was even going to look like. He had no idea how to make a movie. He had no concept of what he was doing. And rather than even have some humility and step back and say, guys, I bit off more than I can chew. I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe I'll try and get some help so I can get this out for you. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't promise that I'm really going to be able to deliver on this. You know, if you want to take back your patronage, you know, I understand. He could have had some humility and done something like that. But he didn't. He just, you know, fell into a depression and hid, and, you know, he went from 2 years ago making over $1,000 a month on Patreon to right now he's making a little over $300 a month on Patreon, which is more than he deserves. I mean, $300 a month to do not a goddamn thing other than bitch about Trump on Twitter is nothing to sneeze at. But that's the only money he's got coming in. And now his girlfriend left him. I guess she was supporting him. And now he's going to lose his house. Allegedly. That's what we're hearing. And he deserves all that. He really is a piece of shit. Another funny guy that was a piece of shit. Somebody says, for everything you said, that's why I think East Coast comedians are the best. There are definitely some experienced people when it comes to the gutters of life, yet they display it in such a funny way, unlike these cringe West Coast comedians. Well, you know, the LA-based comedy and all this other shit, you know, the woke comedians, they're not interested in making you laugh. They have an agenda. You know, they have an agenda. Let me put it this way. I remember when I used to play Dungeons & Dragons, and there's a point to this, trust me. But when I used to play Dungeons, I know, somebody, shut up, nerd. No, I'm coming back around to a point on this. When I used to play Dungeons & Dragons, I like to really get in character. The character was not just me. I didn't just make a character that was me. I made a character, and I would get in character. And there were many times in the game where I kind of let the character lead my actions, as it were. What would the character do? There were times when I knew the character would do this. This isn't really going to work out well. This isn't the best thing to do to quote-unquote win the game. I don't know how much Dungeons & Dragons is even truly a game. I always considered it more a bunch of friends getting together and collectively telling each other a story. But this isn't really going to help the mission, whatever, but this is what my character would do. I didn't have the agenda of winning the game so much as I let the character take me where the character went. Likewise, there has to be an element of that to comedy. As I said, comedy should come from a place of honest observation, untethered by agenda. So there comes a point where you have to just let the observation take you where it is, untethered by your agenda. I think it was one of the Revenge of the Sith guys said that, the problem is so many comedians, mostly left, but a few right, would approach a joke and say, is this joke going to result in more or less abortions, for example? Rather than, is this joke funny? Somebody says Jim Carrey is someone who is getting worse, so each year he should be lucky as the Sonic movie coming out. Let's be real, Jim Carrey was never a good comedian. Jim Carrey was a great comedic actor. That's a different skill entirely. But he was not a good comedian. His stand-up, he made some goofy noises and faces, but, he needs a script to work with. He needs that. He's a great comedic actor. He's not a good comedian. That's not necessarily the same skill. There are plenty of comedians that sucked at being comedic actors. Plenty of great comedic actors who, if you saw a bit of their stand-up, it would be, horrendous and cringe-inducing. Somebody says, I literally cannot think of anything interesting today because you are another Gamersburg. Okay. Somebody says, move away from the mic. Where's Arini? I would assume he's in his apartment in the dark and the cold. Volume does look like it's a touch loud, though. I'm actually not close to the mic. But I'll turn the volume down. I'm actually leaning away from it. And who is texting me? Sorry, folks. I know, very professional on me. Very, very professional. Press F for Baldy's job. I'm sure I don't know what that's all about. Somebody says that one person in the chat is Irene. No, if it's anybody, it's probably a Bombadil. Plus, this person says the UK government pay me. I don't know. Bombadil didn't usually get in character like that. Maybe it's not. Haven't heard from Bombadil in a while. I think he kind of gave up. I say that now. He'll be back. Let's see. Oh, Don Imus died. I caught that earlier today. Sorry, folks. So, I suppose we can watch some, Did we go to the moon? Yes, I believe we went to the moon. And yes, I believe the moon is real. We're not in a dome. No, none of that spurgy shit. He's not good at hiding his intelligence. Well, since y'all in the chat brought him up, or maybe I did, I don't know. But I think you guys did. We could watch him, Marini. If y'all want to chill out and watch a little bit of old David Orion. Let's see. We could watch a little bit of David Marini. That sounds like fun. I think he had a Christmas stream up. He defied all expectations and was actually talking about Christmas. He also has a stream called Old Man Yells at Video Games, apparently. Christmas night cheers. Here we go.
Well, it is audio.
Okay, so we're gonna watch a little Christmas night cheers. Let's see. Go ahead and go into Windows Capture here. Let's go ahead and get this a little bigger. And there we go. That's pretty good. Pretty well centered. Make sure the audio's all right. I know Boomer skills here. We'll go ahead and listen to some Christmas cheers. Because, I had mentioned that Arini, last year, he avoided the topic of Christmas like the plague. And this year, he did tweet out some stuff, I think Christmas Day, something like that. Or retweet some stuff Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, whatever. Couple little Christmas things, But here he did a Christmas stream. I believe this was on Christmas Day. So let's listen to the Christmas stream. I want to hear some Christmas cheer from our old friend Arini.
Seems to be working. Tell me how it sounds, guys. Tell me how the video works. I'm trying to do something with the video, but well, it is what it is. It's pretty dark in my apartment. But I got a light over there. I did a few things. Yes, I'm wearing my Christmas scarf. Actually, it's just my "it's frickin' cold outside and not that warm in the house" scarf. And well, I figured what I'd do.
I got like 2 minutes into this before, so I did see this part before. But so you're not going to get my immediate reaction. But when I did watch this for the first couple times, again, only the first few minutes, I kind of laughed at this, and then I felt actually kind of bad because I was like, "Good Lord, is he really alone in his apartment in the dark with the heat barely on Christmas? Like, do we need to crowdfund this man some help? What's going on here?" And that was the kind of thing where I laughed, but then I was sort of like, again, a little bit of Christmas spirit in me. I had to step back and think like, "Oh wow, man, I really am blessed." You got to keep that in mind. Like, damn, like I don't need to bundle up indoors. Now, part of that's because I don't live in the tundra hellscape that is Canada, but it is winter down here. It is kind of it's been chilly some of these days. Still haven't, still walk around my house, in a t-shirt, and I'm fine.
I figured there might be a few of you that, maybe you've already done the thing with the family. Maybe you're at home, which is, where I am, and thought it might be fun. Have a little bit of a Christmas cheers stream. So, yeah, keep you guys company. Christmas evening. See how all of y'all are doing. So you better add that announcement. I had a pretty good Christmas. Visited my folks last night. I had a really good time with them. They liked the presents I got them, which was wonderful. It did everything I was hoping it was gonna do. They actually enjoyed the presents, and yeah, I got some nifty stuff. This right here. These are rare earth magnet beads that you can kind of string together into different shapes. Very nifty little tech toy that my mom picked up for everybody. Having a lot of fun with those.
That is kind of a cool stocking stuffer. I mean, it's not necessarily, the big gift you'd expect from a parent, but yeah, that's a nifty little stocking stuffer. I always like those little goofy, I guess they call them like desk toys or something. If you have an office job, you can get away with basically having them on your desk and decking off half the day with them. But I do kind of like that shit.
My sister-in-law, my mom's teasing me because my sister-in-law is doing some really fancy shapes with them, and I just have this, tried to make a hexagonal pyramid and it fell over. Got good quality LED tactical flashlights.
Yes, that's right, Chad. Magnets, how do they work? We'll ask Owen Benjamin sometime.
Which is pretty sweet.
That's always handy.
Has a clip on it. You can fix it to webbing or a helmet, so very useful, very practical. Yeah, a bunch of books as usual. So I had a good Christmas. I had a good time chatting with my folks.
Well, what books did you get, though?
And
I want to see the books you got. Why would you show me a flashlight and not the books you got? I don't understand that. How does the flashlight... Like, I'll tell you some of the books I got. I got a book, I got a couple of cookbooks, actually, because I do love to cook. And I've been so busy with overtime over the fall that I was actually vocally complaining about the fact that I really didn't have time or energy to cook anymore. And I was looking forward to getting back into that. So, you know, my dad paid attention and picked me up a couple of cookbooks. One's really cool. It's a 50 sriracha-based recipes. And the other is 50 recipes you can do with steak. Or I don't think it's 50 on the other one. Sorry, I'm still getting over a cold, so forgive me if I'm DSP honking and horking and snorting and sniffing and all sorts of other horrific noises into the mic.
You know what? To get this stream started off, I'm going to talk a little bit about Star Wars. Again, because my observations are so bloody important that all of you need to hear them.
Oh, do we have to talk about Star Wars? God damn it. Oh, you had me, then you lost me. Why do we got... Let's skip ahead some. I don't care about Star Wars. No, I don't want to talk about Star Wars. Let's move ahead some. We'll skip ahead.
Proud of it. I think it's a very astute observation. But at present, I have nothing else to say. It is really interesting watching into these Star Wars movies. Like it's like a cultural autopsy. I'm going to repeat what I said in a previous stream because I think this is worth noting. The original trilogy has followed the same pattern as the larger trilogy. So the original trilogy, you have the first movie is the basic hero's journey. Really simple, good guy, bad guy, blow up the Death Star, good guys win. The second movie is an inversion of the first movie, where instead of the good guys winning, the good guys lose. And then you have the third movie, which is just the first movie all over again. Right? The first movie with a little better lightsaber battles, better special effects, higher stakes, but it's the same movie, you have to blow up the Death Star.
I don't quite know if I'd call Jedi the same movie as New Hope. I mean, okay, there's a Death Star again, and you know, good guys fighting bad. I think it's a bit of a stretch.
So the trilogies. You have the original trilogy.
Let's skip ahead again. I really don't care about Star Wars, especially since Star Wars is in the shitter. Like, I'm kind of interested in seeing a Mandalorian, but I just... The only thing that's more boring to me than the idea of having to go watch Episode 9, or even Episode 8, because I ain't seen it, is hearing people bitch about it. Like, talking about how it's shit is, like, at this point, It's gotten to where it's like making fun of feminism. That's dissecting Star Wars to me. It's like, I know, it's shit. Let's move on.
Movies are not the same thing as books. All right, now when you're writing a book, if you're a lunatic like Tolkien, you invent. Okay, Sherlock Holmes is a very comic booky character. No, but that's not actually how deduction works. He's like the first superhero, essentially.
Okay.
Intimately involved with the mechanics of how these events played out.
This is kind of boring.
It's not that black and white. And you have to remember, the people that rule the world are idiots as well. Okay, one of the big problems with our world is not that the rulers are evil, but that they're stupid. And they have very low self-esteem. And any threat to them, they feel so threatened by a middle class that's obviously smarter than them, so they seek to crush it.
Yeah, this is kind of lame. Somebody says in chat, Mandalorian is awesome. Yeah, it looks very good. I could have sworn he was going on, and I did we skip ahead too far? I could have sworn he was going on about the liquor store being open. When I watched like the first few minutes of this the other day, he was going on about the liquor store being open and how he was so happy that the liquor store was open. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that got cut out or something. But, so happy the liquor store is open on Christmas. It's not a place I'd want to be at. Oh, it was the fake Bailey stream in which he was going on about the liquor store being open. That's right.
So I say to the guy,
yeah, that's the one. Okay. Here we go. We're going to watch the fake Bailey stream.
once more, on the fake Bailey stream.
This is another one. I guess he did this Christmas Eve.
Just announcing that.
Or Christmas Day or something like that.
So the fake Bailey stream.
That's right. He did this Christmas Day.
So, walked down to the corner.
And then I guess he went to dinner with his folks and he did the Christmas stream. That's why I got him mixed up. Okay, so on Christmas Day we went to the liquor store.
Store still open. And said, "Dude, you're my hero for being open." And I tipped the guy as well, right? I tipped the guy after buying the drink, and he said, "Yeah, hey, that's awesome." And you know what? Gave me a can of Coke. Tossed that, and like, hey, you didn't have to do that. I'm like, "Geez, you're open tonight?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of a lunatic, aren't I?" So good guy, good guy. There's a funny story there. Anyway, I'm looking for Bailey's, right? And I spot the Kahlua, and then I see this on sale for $22. So I say to the guy, "That O'Darby's, is it any good?" He's like, "Well, we carry it for a reason." And I said, "You know what? That's a rhetorically sound argument right there, my friend. I will purchase this." So this is a Darby's cream liquor. It's authentic. This is not fake O'Darby's. This is authentic.
So just to reiterate, this man was excited that the liquor store was open on Christmas so that he could buy dollar store brand Bailey's.
O'Darby's. Let's see if it's any good. So I usually have a bottle of this stuff around Christmas time, and I haven't had any cream liqueur. I just like doing the cream liqueur on the rocks. So.
I suspect you have nothing to mix it with, is what it is. I actually thought of getting some Bailey's, because, it's Christmas season, so the past 2 weeks I've been on a hot chocolate kick. And, I thought, man, I bet you I'd mix some Bailey's in with some hot chocolate. I'd be bitching. But the problem is, I don't go through liquor that fast. So, even like the Captain Morgan, I mean, I'll maybe have the Captain co-host some streams because it's funny. But me starting to do that the past year or so is like the most Captain. That's more Captain than I've consumed in probably the several years prior. I'm not a big drinker. That's very much an occasional thing with me, because I can get buzzed and walk that little bit of a line where my tongue is just a little bit looser than normal. But any more than that, and I just want to go take a nap. So all that said, while I very much like Bailey's, it wasn't worth buying a bottle because I know as much of a hot chocolate kick as I am on, I'm not going to drink enough of, spiked hot chocolate in the next few days. And it's just, I'm just not going to drink it fast enough to be worth it. Plus I already have good God, I literally have 2 unopened bottles of rum in the house. I have an unopened Captain Morgan bottle, and I got a bottle of Kraken, which I haven't gotten around to even trying it just because the Angry Video Game Nerd commercial on it worked its magic on me, and I wanted to try it. And I have an open little bottle of vodka that I use for some mixed drinks, but I rarely dip into it. And I have maybe a quarter of a bottle of opened Captain Morgan. But I just wouldn't go through the Baileys fast enough. That said, though, I'm not gonna go to the liquor store. Who's going to the liquor store on Christmas Day to buy dollar store fucking Baileys? Because I guarantee you he picked that up instead of Baileys because it was cheaper.
Moment of truth. Yeah, I think I'm okay with it.
Somebody in the chat says, Bechtloff, get schnapps, make your ancestors proud. I love schnapps. For a while, schnapps was all I drank. The problem is, though, I could drink a little too much schnapps. If I can drink it fast enough, schnapps is probably the only thing I could get drunk off of. Because I can actually drink that fast enough to where I could get a good amount down before the wanting to take a nap kicks in. But yeah, peach schnapps. I used to love me some peach schnapps. That was good stuff. But I don't have any in the house. I don't have any peach schnapps in the house. Schnapps is like candy, though, man. Because let's be real, alcohol tastes like shit. Alcohol doesn't taste good, okay? Real talk here, folks. I know. Oh, I'm an adult. I like the taste of whiskey. No, you don't. No, anything you have to carefully sip, you probably don't like the fucking taste of. Let's be real, all right? So the question is, what alcohol is tolerable? I mean, rum is tolerable to me to take straight. And it also mixes really well with stuff. But schnapps is one of those things where I don't mind schnapps straight at all.
I think this stuff... Sorry, now, you know what? I'm going to be honest, guys. Not a liquor tasting expert, and yes, I'm going to wear my jacket indoors. It's a very comfortable jacket. It's a very fashionable jacket.
And your heat's barely on.
It's down in Aussie land. You don't get to have winter fashion, so I'm kind of showing off. But I like being warm. So I'm going to wear this until I'm warm enough that I don't feel like wearing it. And...
This man barely has the heat on in his apartment. This is what I'm reading between the lines here. Oh, this is sad. Folks, go hug your family. I don't know what else to say. This man is, on Christmas Day, happy that the liquor store was open so he could buy dollar store brand Baileys to drink in a cold, dark apartment. My God, put up a tree or something. Like, hang a reef before you hang yourself. Good God, how is that not the most depressing thing in the world? Davis, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, man. Wow. Oh boy.
Saying a warning. I am not a liquor expert. I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying I have no issues with it.
Man, I kind of want Baileys now. But I don't want a whole bottle. Plus, it's not a liquor store open at fucking 12:30 at night. And I hate going to bars. Galaxian sends £2 British. Thank you very much for that. Not sure what that is in real money, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And says toleration money. Thank you very much. Yeah, I kind of want Baileys now.
I'm saying I'm quite enjoying it.
You know what I want? I want a White Russian. Oh, that sounds good right now. Little White Russian. I got some hot chocolate. I picked up some Marshmallow Lovers, where it has a whole pack of marshmallows to go in. And I know I'm not making hot chocolate from scratch. I'm not Martha fucking Stewart. I'm just getting those fucking Swiss Miss packs. Okay, I gotta tell you. Somebody want to be like, oh, you know, there's preservatives in it. I'm sure there's preservatives in it. I'm sure they fucking shove soy in it too. Probably who knows what else. But sorry, I wanted some hot chocolate. It's Christmas time. And I'm not making it from scratch, sorry to tell you. But I got the packets. I got the Marshmallow Lovers packets. But then I got... Swiss Miss has a dark chocolate flavor. And that is the tits. That's the absolute tits. Oh, man. A little bit of Bailey's in that. That'd be fucking fantastic. That'd be some... That would actually be... you wouldn't really be able to do that with, I guess, the packets. I guess you could. You just get a box of them. Make a punch bowl. Make a crock pot. Like on a low simmer of hot chocolate with Bailey's. And serve it with, like, what are those, like, those soup ladles that they're, like, in a punch bowl? Serve it almost like it was a punch bowl to people at a Christmas party. That'd be great.
And it could very well be that you could try this stuff and say that Irini is an asshole. I never should have bought this, and my apologies in advance. But no, it is authentic O'Darby's cream liqueur. So, I don't know, give it a shot. Worst thing that happens, you'll get almost drunk off of this 12%?
Real quick in the chat. Somebody says, love y'all, Bechtloff. Matt Forney did a fun game stream today. I saw that, actually. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I saw he did a stream today. Merry Orthodox Christmas. As I celebrate on, got to keep Christmas until 1/11. Yeah, the Orthodox celebrate late for some reason. I'm not sure what they got going on. I consider it Christmas season until till the New Year. January 1st. New Year Day is almost depressing. It's almost a depressing holiday because it's like, when you were a kid, you had your Christmas break, and it's like you got to go back to school after New Year's. And, I mean, even now as an adult, I have my big, shutdown, and I got to get back to work after New Year's, although I might actually be anxious to get back to work. But, New Year's Day, it's like your Christmas break's over. You got to put all the Christmas decorations away. So, somebody says you can make hot chocolate from scratch. That's new to me. I assume you can. Like, I assume you don't have to buy the prepackaged stuff. I'm not going to. I like to cook and all, but there's a fucking limit to it. Like, that's the other thing. I don't like to make sauces from scratch. Like, if I'm doing a recipe, it's like, I saw a really cool recipe for quote-unquote Greek quesadillas. And it's just basically like, pitas, and then you got your meat. It's almost like what do you call it? A gyro, or whatever, however you pronounce it. Here in America, we call it a gyro. It's almost like a gyro, and then you got that. What the hell's the Greek sauce that goes with a gyro? How's that? How's that pronounced? Takiki sauce or some bullshit? But like this recipe is showing me how to make that sauce, and I'm like, no, I don't. Ain't nobody got time for that. You buy the Greek yogurt and then the lemon oil and then the dill and you mix. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm gonna buy a bottle of the fucking sauce. Is what I'm gonna do, and then I'll make my quesadilla / really flat gyro that this recipe was making. It looks good. I actually am gonna make it here soon. But yeah, I don't make, like, some people go out and they go, I make the homemade sauces. And it's like, that's fucking great for you. I have other shit to do though, so I'm sorry. That ain't gonna happen. But yeah, January 1st, that's the end of the Christmas season.
Shoot! This stuff's actually almost alcoholic. It's 17%. So, there you go. There's your argument. 17% alcohol. And I'll have you know this scarf matches brilliantly, and I look very dashing in it. This is now a review bra live stream. Exactly. And you know what?
You look like you're bundled up in your own home because your heat's barely on. Is this a Canada problem? Is it like nobody's heat can keep up with the fact that they live in a frozen tundra hellscape? Or is Irini just like too cheap and or broke to like turn his heat up? I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. There were some really cold days. It's a little cold downstairs because I live in a split level. So I guess I'm sort of in the downstairs / basement, depending on how you look at it. I don't know. But you know how split levels are. And if you don't look it up, I'm not going to fucking explain it to you. This ain't the remedial class. But anyways, it's extremely hard to get the downstairs and the upstairs both at a comfortable temperature. The downstairs is always much colder than the upstairs. And so sometimes, you know, if I get it nice downstairs, it's actually kind of hot upstairs, and that's year round. So I understand that, but it's like it's not that I can't fucking afford heat. I mean, you know, I've had some tight times money wise, but I don't have to wear a sweater indoors.
Not just me that's getting a treat. Space Dog deserves a treat, doesn't she? Because she is a very important dog. And you saw what she did to that stuffed mallard. What if we get Space Dog some duck feet? Do you want some duck feet? You want some duck feet? That's a very nice duck feet, isn't it? It's a very good one, isn't it? Oh, you're gonna put it next to your duck, aren't you? That's a happy dog, folks.
I got my dad's dog a pig femur, actually, at the pet store for him on Christmas morning. Keep him occupied while everybody's doing Christmas stuff. And yeah, he loved it. Oh, and I mean, he just relentlessly was just sitting there gnawing on it, just sawing away at it. And I mean, you know, I checked on him. I'm like, you have eaten, you know, probably too much of this boat. I think we're going to take it away for a little while.
What's this? Buzz Lightyear was replaced with an actor? Duck quesadilla is what Josh the Lego Dude had yesterday. That sounds horrific.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Last night I had roast beef, which I don't like at all, actually, but some fantastic potatoes and Brussels sprouts. Which, funny story, did you guys know that Brussels sprouts are no longer being called Brussels sprouts in Britain because of the Brexit thing? They're calling them Lincolnshire sprouts or like it's the freedom fries all over again.
I wasn't aware of that because
Bechtloff says, would it be blasphemy to give my dog a stuffed candy?
I don't concern myself with baby nations that didn't put their flag on the moon. Somebody asked, where's Davis streaming these days? He's on Twitch.
Goose is a chew toy? No, absolutely not. She loves it. Now the problem is she rips it to shreds. But my mom's old dog. See, my mom had a bunch of these left over from her old dog, which was passed on. It loved these things. One time they were at the cabin, and for some reason their damn dog was just moping around. Just absolutely depressed. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong until they realized we forgot her duck back in Calgary. So my mom goes down the hill, has to go and find one of these ducks and bring it back, and the dog's just delighted. She's got her duck again. This dog just absolutely loved those ducks. And you like, there's nothing but cotton over there right now. Cassie, you've just destroyed the duck. You have destroyed the duck, my girl. She is feeling a little bit bashful. She is itching her nose, which is what she does when she's bashful. She is very happy about that duck leg.
Somebody says, how old is Davis's dog? I'm not sure, but I think it was kind of old when he got her. That's supposedly a dog he rescued from somebody that was abandoned or something.
Well, there she is. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but the gain levels keep bouncing up and down on my end. I don't know how to fix that.
Somebody in the chat says, hang on, why don't you pause? Somebody in the chat says, if I had $1 for every time I heard Bechtloff say the Baby Nation quote or quip, I would have about $10. Well, you know, you got to have catchphrases. I like to have a little catchphrase here and there. Gives the show a little sense of continuity. It's not because I'm a hack that can't come up with new material. No, it's catchphrase.
I really like this stuff. It's like milkshake for adults. Oh, Titus Volturcius? Not sure how you pronounce that. Say that's why you kept typing BB. I was just ignoring it. I didn't know what you were doing. Yeah, we can see you. You're haven't blocked you. Was gonna mention. Okay, Coptonazo. I was actually at the knife store with my buddy and chatting with him about how much my dog loves it when I get a new blade because she gets. I test them out on pig limbs all the time. She gets the leftovers. Pronounced Lincolnshire.
What? Oh!
Nobody knows how to speak British.
Oh,
right?
when he
They could have learned English like the rest of us, but instead they speak British, and that's their problem.
With his wall hangers, he cuts up a pig carcass, like that video he did. Okay. I was like, what is he talking about for a second?
Reboot that Wi-Fi just to see if there's any important messages I need to respond to. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I know. British isn't even a real language. Oh, wait, there's a message. Oh, there's emails.
This is riveting content. Not that my content making fun of it is not much more riveting, but this isn't my regular stream. This is a lazy...
Well, that's a very good email. But I'm not
I might delete this afterwards. Who knows? Maybe this is a shitty stream. It's not turning out well. I don't know.
But thank you, if you can guess who you are. And... there we go. One message from my buddy saying Merry Christmas. It's awesome.
He's just smoking. He's not saying anything.
Colonel? How do the Americans pronounce it? Colonel? I don't know, man. I think they pronounce it Captain.
We pronounce it the correct way.
Guys. Just teasing ya.
Just because we pronounce it that way, it's the correct way.
See, Titus is mentioning the...
Again, flag on the moon.
Aspects of the moon conspiracy. I'll just be upfront with you guys. I'm 30% moon conspiracy. I'm 30% that there's something really hinky about it. 70% it is what it says it is.
You're watching a little too much on Benjamin.
It's but then you get just weird stuff. Like half of the space rocks aren't from the moon. 90% of them are missing. Just a lot of weird stuff. That's not about 30%. That something really, really hinky is going on with the lunar landing.
Somebody says this is actually what he did on Christmas. Yes, apparently. He did go to his parents for dinner after this, and then he did a Christmas stream after this. But this, I believe, was an early day Christmas stream for him. Somebody else, if I talk about Irini's deepest, darkest secrets, would that be bad? Well, I mean, I don't really want you to, dox anybody, but, I also don't really police the chat that much. Leaf cope. Yes, exactly. Exactly, chat. That's why he's 30% sure we didn't go on the moon, because he can't quite cope with the fact that our flag on the moon is proof of our nation's inherent superiority. Somebody says Irini confessed to something on Twitch and then deleted it, but I heard about it on Luke Ford. Why? I didn't even think Luke Ford would be talking about Davis at this point. I thought I was the last one talking about Davis.
But I don't know. Don't have a strong opinion. And another thing, why is it that the Soviets accomplished every single first for outer space? Aside from landing on the moon, we were the first to do that.
Because we're awesome. And communism is gay. That's why. No, because the real reason is because they got a jump start on it, and we didn't take seriously how far along they were, and then we got our ass in gear. And part of the reason they were able to get a jump start, even though they sucked, is they didn't have quite the same ethical restraints we did. So yeah, once we got our ass in gear, we promptly shot past them. That's why.
Weird stuff with the lunar conspiracy. Now the problem with these conspiracies, the problem with all these conspiracies, is that crazy idiots get involved in it. So I was first convinced to look into the lunar conspiracy theory about, was it 6 or 7 years ago? And all of, like, I said, okay, recommend a YouTube video. Give me like a 2-hour YouTube video about the moon conspiracy. And this guy links me to this very professionally produced documentary alleging that the moon conspiracy is fake. And first, the guy brings up the fact that one of the rocks has a C written on it. And it's a common thing in Hollywood that you write A, B, and C on props. No, it's not. That was an eyelash that got on the plate when they photocopied that picture for mass distribution. I mean, I already knew this.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of stuff NASA doesn't make public. You know, if you want to go down the route, maybe it's fucking alien shit. Who knows? Maybe they found some, you know, was the one Transformer movie? They found a fucking Decepticon on the moon. Like on the dark side of the moon. Who knows? I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff NASA doesn't fucking tell us. But no, I'm understanding that your government is a little bit full of shit, and there's certainly stuff they keep secret, is not the same thing as space isn't real, like these idiots.
And there's this idiot talking about the C, which was just an eyelash that fell on a photographic plate. Then they get into all of these massive bits about...
Somebody in the chat talking about the Luke Ford, I think. No, it was in Luke Ford's chat. It was about one of Irini's past flames. I thought Bechtloff wanted to keep it as a trump card, but I'm feeling bored and mischievous. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff I know that I don't talk about because A, I can't confirm it, and B, I mean, I understand Davis, I understand Davis thinks that I've really, really done him wrong here and all this other stuff, and I was so, you know, it's his honor or whatever the gay shit, but I've held back this whole time. I really have. This has just been goofing on the internet. It's not been, I'm going to destroy your life and stuff. And I even said at one point when people were trying to fuck with him in real life or something, like, no, guys, don't do that. That's, to quote the great king of Wakanda, we don't do that here. So, you know, yeah, I know some rumors about him. I know some personal stuff about him that some of which I can a little bit more confirm than others, but, you know, I don't go into that. I will say, though, that was never something that went both ways. I mean, you know, while I was busy talking about, you know, his involvement in the Free Folk, he was writing a 1,000,000,000-word essays on his blog about how I'm fat and a nerd. Look at this picture of Bechtloff. He looks fat. Yeah, I look fat in it. It's also a picture of me where I had just climbed the tallest mountain in North America you can climb without gear. But, you know, so I look a little winded in it. But yeah, I look kind of fat in it. I'm kind of fat. You know. I love how NC Clark put it to me. She said, like, he sent me this, and I read through the whole thing, trying to, eventually hoping he'd get to a point, but it was just Bechtloff's fat and a nerd. As if these were some sort of secrets that, you know, he was letting some cat out of the bag. But no, this has always just been goofing on the internet. I mean, like, this is a stream right here that we're poking at and all. But it's like, this is a stream he put out public. This is for public consumption. I'm part of the public, so I choose to consume it right now. Me and 50 other people, grand total, choose to consume it right now.
About shadows and lighting and all of that. I've since seen some videos which do point out that my point is that I watch these videos, and this guy is just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. And most of it is just the most easily debunked nonsense that you could possibly imagine. It's absolutely asinine. And it just made me, like, here's the thing, if you're gonna start your argument with really stupid points, you're souring me on the rest of the argument. It's like if you're big...
Why were you sucking Owen's dick for so long? Like, cause that's what Owen is like all the fuck about, is the moon don't reel.
9/11 video starts off by claiming that there were holographic airplanes. Like, really, asshole? But I've been looking into it a bit more. Another really weird artifact. There was a video from the ISS where the guy went down a corridor, like around a corner, and as he went around the corner...
Somebody in the chat, that's cool, Bechtloff, I won't say it. I don't care if you say it in the chat. I really don't care. I might not read it out loud, but nobody pays attention to the chat. So do what you want in the chat. I don't care. Unless you're doxing somebody. Like, if you're doing something like that, like, that's the kind of thing I'll delete. I yell at you. If you do it enough, I'll ban you. But no, you just want to... You want to shit talk in the chat, you should go ahead and shit talk in the chat. I'm not going to stop you. That's what the chat's for.
He faded and you could see the background behind him. Almost as if he were on a green screen. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of video artifact of the camera getting confused with the static background, but it really looks like green screen to me. So I don't know. I don't know about the whole NASA thing, the moon thing. There's a lot of weird stuff, but sadly most of the lunar conspiracy theorists have gotten wrapped up in some really, really stupid stuff. And I think 9/11 is an apt comparison for all of this. Because most of the 9/11 conspiracy, and by the way, I think these are all shills. These are all plants. But they take a whole bunch of legit stuff. Why was there thermite residue found in the dust? Why did we take all of the steel and ship it to China before there was an investigation to be melted down? Why were there dancing Israelis? How did we find passports in the rubble? Why did we see molten steel? And again, you know, that molten steel kind of looks like thermite detonation to me. Would burning jet fuel have sufficiently and consistently weakened the metallic infrastructure to create something that was very close to a controlled demolition?
Can autism melt steel memes?
Those are real questions. All of that said, I'm pretty sure there were hijackers on those planes. My kind of suspicion is the hijackers were helped with some boots on the ground. That the hijackers didn't even know there were boots on the ground. Anyway. But then the 9/11 guy started talking about hologrammatic airplanes. He talked about how this flight was secretly landed and traded out with this other, and all the people on that flight are government agents. Dude, you don't know that. So it's so frustrating how there are very real conspiracies, but then they get polluted with stupid conspiracies.
I mean, I agree with this. I'm not gonna...
Great example. Owen Benjamin, I'm sorry. This flat Earth nonsense. You're being played, man. You're being played. You sound... you do not sound erudite when you talk about the flat Earth.
No, he's not being played. He's a fucking moron, all right? And he was always a fucking moron. I mean, I guess he is being played.
I am 99.9% certain that the Earth is not flat. And I've got very, very good arguments for it. I've got a degree in this, okay?
You've got a degree in the Earth not being flat?
Degree just to dupe us. So that's what happens. You get a real conspiracy.
I thought you had a history degree.
9/11 at the very minimum was an Al-Qaeda conspiracy. I think there were a few more moving parts connected. I think there was Osama bin Laden. There were the 12 hijackers, and I think there were some other people in addition to that involved in 9/11. I don't think the CIA secretly invented holograms and have only ever used them to fake 9/11.
Somebody says, is Owen Jones a flat earther? No. Sorry, real quick, mute this. No, Owen Benjamin is a flat earther.
Minimum alleged allies of America involved in it. And yeah, I think there were probably a few Americans But then, 9/11, you got the fact that the Air Force was doing training exercises that day, which impacted their response time. That might just be a coincidence. Coincidences do happen, after all.
Let's see.
But anyway, the way you
I came here to hear Bechtloff.
is you create a bunch of people.
Sorry, I don't have a lot. I might skip ahead here. I'll because I haven't got a lot to add to this. Let's skip
one
ahead.
guy. FBI sends one guy to go be a radical, and that one guy manages to
skip ahead a little bit.
Depression and alcoholism in the 70s. By that it was just hijacked airplanes. And I say, why were Israelis dancing? And hey, that's really weird. That's really weird. And why did we shut down all flights aside from the flights going back to Saudi Arabia? Well, maybe there's a prosaic explanation of that. The Saudis control the government, and they were worried that we blame the Saudis since Osama was a Saudi. Okay, maybe that's prosaic. But you see, I'm starting with a bunch of objective facts that are easily verifiable.
I don't have a lot of this is kind of getting boring. Like, yeah, I'm kind of with him on the conspiracy thing. I think there's some stuff to a lot of these conspiracy things, but a lot of idiots get involved and they throw a whole bunch of dumb shit around it. And that may indeed be a conspiracy in and of itself. People wanting to muddy the water. But we've gone on for about an hour and 20 minutes. I think that's about all I'm going to do for tonight. We're going to do a regular Saturday show, 8 p.m. Technically here on the East Coast later today. I guess technically it's Saturday, isn't it? God, I'm losing track of the days. It is Saturday right now, isn't it? So I'm literally checking. Because I am truly losing track of the days. Yes, it is indeed Saturday. Okay, it's Friday night / Saturday morning here on the East Coast. So yes, Saturday, 8 p.m. we will be doing a regular show. And I don't know, I'll probably do something New Year's Day. Just because, what else you going to do New Year's Day? But I don't think I'm going to do Bechtloff cutting it short. The information is too powerful. That's right. But I don't think I'm going to do like a New Year's Eve night stream just because like it's going to be a crowded field. Everybody's going to be doing it. I'm sure Medicare's going to be doing it. I'd probably rather listen to him than bore you all with my dumb shit. Everybody will be doing a midnight, going till midnight New Year's Eve night stream. So I doubt I'll do anything New Year's Eve. I might do something New Year's Day. What else you gonna do New Year's Day? That sort of thing. But I'll Sunday I'll do something. Maybe Saturday, obviously the regular show. Might do something Sunday. Might do something Monday. Who knows? Got a lot of time on my hands. So that's about all we got for tonight, folks. If you enjoy the show, do consider supporting the show. We got the PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon wish list. Are all ways you can do just that. And it's funny. A buddy of mine got me a bunch of little Mario Kart Hot Wheels. And now I'm kind of hoping somebody gets me the Hot Wheels track off the wish list. I might even get it if I see it on sale. But I promise you this, if somebody gets it for me off the wish list, I will do a video of me putting it together and testing it out and reviewing it. And I'll even have Luke edit it so it's not, it's actually decent to to watch. And I think we can take Davis off for the end there. Yeah, so like I said, a lot more content in the next few days, and then it's back to the grind for me starting Thursday, And yeah, that's about all I got for today. I want to thank you all for listening.